My cat is screaming at me from the other room right now. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sarah and I'm a Christian booktuber who loves all things bookish related, and I also include spice and language ratings in all of my reviews. And welcome to our March TBR video, where we use TBR cards to pick my monthly reads. If you saw my last video for February, I picked 5 books that I was hoping to read in the month of February, and sadly I only read 2 of them and soft DNF'd 1 of them. So overall, not the greatest start to these monthly TBRs, but that's okay. We got plenty of time left in the year. I will say I am filming this a little bit later in March than I originally had anticipated. So while normally I would pick 5 cards for 5 books, I think I'm only going to do 4 today because it is currently March 14th when I'm filming this. So we're halfway through the month of March already, which is wild to me. And so I don't think I could get through 5 books with only like 2.5 weeks left in the month, but I feel like I can handle 4. As far as what I'm in the mood for the month of March, it is getting warmer outside. The sun is starting to come out. And so I wouldn't mind maybe some fun romances, maybe even a little fantasy romance in there too. I did kind of in February get on a little bit of a mystery thriller kick, but I feel like that is kind of past and I want to go back to just romance and fantasy. As always, I will link the cards down below in case you want your own version of these TBR cards, but let's just dive in, shall we? All right, give them a good shuffle here. Fan them out. And we're going to start just right in the middle, shall we? Choose the most popular book on your shelf. So I, like probably many people in the booktube bookstagram community, that's the right word, tend to get a lot of my book recommendations from social media. So I do have quite a few popular booktok books. As far as the most popular I have on my shelf, I do know Red Rising is kind of blowing up. I do see a lot of people talking about this one. What else do I got? I do also have Crown of Midnight, which is the second book in the Throne of Glass series, which I'm kind of doing a little mini reread of. I had originally started the series, made it halfway through Heir of Fire, took a break from the series, and then decided to go back and reread the first book and the second book, which I'm almost done with my reread of the first book, Throne of Glass. So I feel like I could very easily finish Crown of Midnight in the month of March too. Which honestly, as much as I would like to read Red Rising, I think I am going to pick Crown of Midnight just because I'm already in the middle of that series. Like I said, I'm almost done reading the first book, and I feel like even if you haven't heard of Throne of Glass, you've at least heard of Sarah J. Maas before. She's most known for her A Court of Thorns and Roses series. She also has her Crescent City series. But I decided to start with Throne of Glass because that was the series by her that intrigued me the most. So I think we're going to go with Crown of Midnight. Right, shuffle in again. And we'll kind of go more towards from the top. That sounds good. Y'all, it literally says, read a sequel. That's wild. Okay, what other series am I in the middle of? Let's see here. Funny enough, a lot of the books on my priority TBR actually start series for me. Oh, ooh, hold on. I got it. Okay, so I had just finished The Naturals, which is the first book in a series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And I've been intrigued to jump into the second one, which is Killer Instinct. Which, if you aren't familiar with the series, it's a young adult mystery thriller that follows, what's her name? Cassie. That follows Cassie, who has a very unique ability to where she can know everything about a person just by looking at them. So she ends up getting recruited by the FBI along with some other people with special abilities to help solve crimes and to track down serial killers. I flew through the first book. I can honestly not remember the last time I read a book that fast. I do not have the second book physically, but I do know it is on Kindle Unlimited, or I could probably very easily get it from the library as well. So I think we're going to add Killer Instinct. All right, mix them up again. And I think I'm going to kind of go from the bottom again. This says, pick your most recent purchase. Okay, oh my gosh, wait, I just bought so many books though. Wait, which one do I pick? Y'all, I'm so happy about this because literally what was this? Yesterday, I just bought How to Write a Love Story by Walsh. This is her newest release for 2026. Back in December, I read Holiday Romance and Snowden by her and absolutely loved them. They do tend to have a little bit of spice in them, but they were very easy to skip over. So I am kind of already expecting just a little bit of spice going into this one. This one says, one writer, one editor, one hot summer. Will this be a romance for the books? So this one follows, I think you say Sara, I think is how you say her name, whose father has recently passed away, and her father left her a house off of the Irish coast, an outline for the final in her father's fantasy series, and Sara happens to also be in a reading slump. So she teams up with Sam, who is kind of this hotshot editor in New York City, but then Sam ends up getting sent over from New York City to Ireland to work with Sara on the final draft of this fantasy book. So you kind of got workplace romance, rivals to lovers, because they end up butting heads off the bat, and probably some forced proximity too. So I'm really excited about this one. Alrighty, y'all, last one. It's crazy. I know I said only do 4. We shall see. Maybe I could pick a 5th depending on what this last one is. And I think I'm going to draw right from the middle again. Read the book that has been on your TBR the longest. Darn. Okay. There's quite a few that have been on my TBR for a while now. So let me pull some options that come to mind automatically. Okay, so I have 3 books here that I know for a fact have been on my TBR since around 2020, 2021, somewhere around that time period. So about 5 or 6 years ago, and I feel like that's a long time to have a book on my TBR. And we have 2 historical fictions and then a Christian mystery. So I have, Silenced by Dani Petrie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how you say your name. Which is the 4th book in a series. This one follows 4 different siblings who live in Alaska and run a dive shop as well as a search and rescue team. So they kind of work with the local police. And so there's 5 books in this series. In each book, you're following a different sibling. And so in this one, you're following Caden, who is kind of the more closed off, very blunt type of character, doesn't really let a lot of people get close to her. And while on a hiking excursion, Caden ends up stumbling across a dead body, unfortunately, but ends up teaming up with kind of somebody who she's always butted heads with to try and solve the mystery. So again, kind of got rivals to lovers, forced proximity, work-related romance. There is no spice in this and no language as well. And also a little bit of mystery too, which, like I said, in February I kind of got on a kick of. But Dani Petrie's books are just super fast-paced to read. Each chapter is really only like 4 or 5 pages long. So I feel like I could speed through this one pretty quickly. I also have Sold on a Monday by Christina McMorris. And this is a historical fiction that takes place in 1931, where a reporter stumbles upon 2 children who are holding a sign that says 2 children for sale. I have not read historical fiction in a very long time though, so I'm not sure if I could get through this one super quickly. And then I also have Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers, which has also been on my shelf for a very long time. This one is also Christian fiction, historical romance that is based off of the Bible story of Hosea, I want to say. I've heard nothing but good things about this book, but I think because it's a little bit longer of a book, I've been hesitant to pick it up. And again, because I haven't been reading a lot of historical fiction, I'm not sure if I could get to this one by the end of March. So I feel like with that said, I am going to pick Silenced by Dani Petrie. So to recap, we have Crown of Midnight, Killer Instincts, this one will be a placeholder for it, How to Write a Love Story, and Silenced. I'm feeling pretty good about these. I feel like I could very easily finish them before the month of February is over. And honestly, I'm excited to read all of these, which is a good feeling to have. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as well as go check out my Instagram page for more bookish content, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!